is a great example of an actor's actor, in everything that means, and he's a great example of a pure actor. And I worked with him for 5 years. One of the smartest things I ever did in my life was that the thing to get him for Taxi was falling apart. I had 104 temperature, which I might be rounding out from 103.2, but I was sick, and I went to ABC to argue to make his deal, and I think one of the reasons that you got it was that I was contagious.
Oh,
They didn't want me to get
You had other people in mind, I'm sure, right?
So
cheaper.
So mentioning it, let's. What was Taxi? What was?
I don't know. I was just Steven Spielberg. We were on Zoom because it was still the ending of COVID. He did everything on Zoom. In fact, he did the movie because of Zoom, because he couldn't do anything else. Really true. And so I get this phone call. I get this call, and it's like SS wants to talk to JH. I said, "What is this? Come on, cut it out. What is this? Who's SS?" So I was hoping it was the Nazis. I go back that far, so it could have been. All right, so that's what they said. I think it's Steven Spielberg. I said, "What did you just say, Steven Spielberg?" So of course I forgot the call. You know, I'm not good at this, and I went there and I got the Zoom and it was late. I saw this guy just sitting there waiting. This guy called Steven. And then the first thing, of course, I said was, "This is the dumbest thing you could do. Only fans can do it to you." I said, "You're Steven Spielberg." I identified him to himself. I'm used to people doing that to me. Except when they get the name wrong. You were so, yo, get him. What's your name, Judd Hirsch? No, that's not it. I got that a lot. So then he said, I need somebody to play an old uncle of mine who, he said these words, but I didn't quite believe him. He said, made me become a director. So I thought, anybody made you become a director? Whoa, that's a part to play, huh? You're going to play like God. It's going to be like God. I don't know what it is. I haven't read it yet. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to be? I'm going to be some great producer. I'm going to be somebody who everybody knows. He said, no, it's just a great uncle of mine. I said, oh, what about him? You know, where did he come from? He said, I'm not quite sure. I think it was the Ukraine. Not quite sure. No, I said, what did he sound like? He said, well, we hardly understood a word he said. Okay, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and he says nothing more. So I'm thinking, read the script. Oh, I read the script, and I don't know who wrote this thing. I really don't. I mean, it's him and Tony Kushner, but it didn't sound like either one of them. It didn't sound like a person wrote this. It sounded like some historian of a time back when I would not know. I had no idea who I was talking about. And did you see the movie just now? You must have known. I didn't know who I was talking about. All those names of people, you know. And when I got there, I asked Tony, I said, all these people are real? Yeah. All the names that I talked about, the producing company of the movie there, and he didn't say what the circus was or anything like that. So I said, oh. So I looked them all up. Yeah, they're real. They're all real. So to me, I went, this is a soup of names. I might as well just drink this and say it. I had no idea what I was gonna. Also, I didn't know who the person was that was supposed to be speaking from, because he never told me. I think these guys just had a really good time by saying, let's see what Judd does, and so we got there. No direction. We never even rehearsed.
Just like the kids have an accent or not?
Huh?
No discussion about whether you have an accent or not?
I just said if he doesn't use this, I'm quitting. I'm helping myself, you know what I mean? So I wasn't gonna, you know, I'm that kind of guy. You don't like it? You got the wrong guy.
Let me close this out and just talk about Vivek on your work.
Well, yours is one of the best. We had a great time on Taxi. I mean, it was like, but the other guy was Robert Redford, who had done his first movie. I don't think he directed anything after that. He does the movie, Ordinary People. He wins the Academy Award as director. Wins the Academy Award as the movie, right? Yeah. And for some stupid reason, they nominated me and the kid and Timothy Hutton, who was the star of the movie, but they put him in the supporting category. And someone said, "What's the worst thing that can happen to you?" I said, "Winning this." It's silly to win this thing, right? I mean, how would I say it? How could I excuse myself? I thought there's going to be reporter after reporter after reporter questioning me if I ever won it, you know. Do you think you deserve it? I mean, how dare you? What about Timothy Hutton? This is his first movie, and now he's only 19 years old. How can you do this to that kid? So now I'm in another one with a 19-year-old.
This can be urban legend, but I heard that Redford directed people by physically sort of arranging them with these skills like this. Is that true?
He was, let's see, he knew he didn't know how to direct. He'd say it himself. He didn't know anything about cameras, he didn't know anything about lenses, or anything like that, so, but I decided to see him on the side.
He was a fine artist, though. He painted.
Yeah, he was, yes.
But how did he do that? Did he do that physical stuff to you?
No. He was more concerned with cliche. If you did anything that sounded like, or looked like, or direction-wise, he just didn't want to see anyone come out like an actor, you know. Maybe it's because he was always afraid that that's what people thought of him. I mean, not that he was, but that, you know, they're always sensitive when they're that good looking, right? Well, Hunter, the same thing. He was always sensitive about the fact that that's the only reason and they hate what they do until they get older, you know. But no, he was absolutely right. I remember I said, that kid, if you see the movie, he's my patient, I'm a psychologist. I said, and I read the book, and I said, ooh, I think maybe we all should know he's not coming back to see me. He had the first session, I kind of treat him like offhandedly as another patient, and I'm clumsy, and I said, I gotta do something that he doesn't get, that he won't want to come back to. And he said, like what? I said, like smoke. He said, why would you do that? I said, I quit smoking. I just quit smoking. I was in Taxi, right? And we all smoked and all quit. All right, so I just quit. And I said, I'll smoke. He said, no, don't do that. I said, why? He said, it's sort of like a cliche. No, it's not. It's not. I know you have to find out what the length of the cigarette every shot. Forget about it. I said, I can do it. I don't have anything else. The guy is obese in the novel. He's obese.
The sweater.
I said, what the hell am I going to look
sweater
like?
was a preach.
Yeah, I put sweaters on me and make me look heavier. No, it didn't work. No, he was not good looking. I didn't say that I was, but he wasn't. And I thought, I said, no, it's got to be something. Just the book was so good. Why the kid was kind of like, he was clumsy. The guy was clumsy. He couldn't turn off his own radio. Things would happen, and the kid should not have come back. But the wonderful part about it is when it gets to the denouement of this movie, he has to come back. I mean, he must. We must have this last session. And the last session was he put a track around the us too. Comes back. It's the last moment, and he has us just talking to each other. He said, "Never mind where the camera is." Round. He's telling me his whole story, and I said, because I'm your friend, and he says, are you? And I said, count on it. And that's what he wanted me to hug him. Okay, so I did. We did all this stuff. And then I leave. That was the last shot. I'm walking around Paramount where we did Taxi, and I meet him on the street. I said, hey, I gotta come out. He said, oh yeah, remember that one with the circle around you? Yeah, I cut it. The whole thing? He said, it's not in the movie. It's not in the movie. He said, you've already said everything before that, and it's like a summary. Somewhere on the cutting room floor, Jim, I'd like to show it. Never mind the movie.
And the impact of directors on performance in your...
I must say, I'm a kind of guy that actually loves to be director. I mean, I always, I'm a writer, director, follower. You know, I always think that the best thing that made a movie was the writer, and the director, if he's wonderful, can tell you so much more than you might. I mean, we're just studying a part. I'm just figuring out how to deliver something. And he's going to tell you how to do it on camera. That's the big difference, okay? That's why good directors, I mean, even those like Redford, who didn't direct ever before, you want to see his vision because you know he's got one. He's got one, right? And I guess I don't know. I just like being part of the three of us, you know. I mean, when I read this one, kept saying Tony Kushner. I said, who is this guy really? I mean, where did he come? He said, it's all right. And you know, the fact that he was a lion tamer, and later on I found out that's where he worked on, a Jewish guy working with animals, which was at that time unknown. The circus did not have Jewish guys in it. I thought, oh boy, we behind the eight ball to begin with. This is great. Oh, you want to play that guy, right? You know? And there's a couple of things, as long as he's ancient, you know, I thought I had carte blanche, right? Just do the fucking oldest guy, you know.
You're a trained actor. You did all the training.
Yeah, I went to acting school. Yeah, of course I was.
Which is
unusual.
More unusual.
Yeah, it was one of those things that I didn't have anything else to do. I mean, well, let's say, the most boring childhood. Well, I should say, we didn't have anything. We had nothing. My mother was a single mother for a while, 5 years, and I was brought up in Coney Island, and it was like everything was fake. I had no friends because we moved so many times. I went to 6 different schools before even getting in high school, and I couldn't. There was nothing for us. I remember asking my mother one time, can we have our own furniture? Because we lived in rooming houses and furnished rooms. And she said, don't worry about it, someday we will. And I thought, positive woman. My answer to that is, when? And it was like, when I was 9, we got our own furniture. But it was like, there was nothing for me to want. I mean, I can't trace back why anyway, how come that was, acting was something. It was like, I didn't feel like,
at what point did you feel it was your profession, what was happening? This is going to be your life.
When I told the guy in college, my dean in college, when I went up with my books, and I was in my 3.5 year as an engineering student. I was going to be a good engineer, and I was a good student. I really knew. I was very good in math and science. And I brought my book. I said, "Can I just drop out?" He said, because it was a free college, so that you could use more of the credits that I didn't do yet. I wanted to use those extra credits for doing something else. I didn't know what. So I said, can I just sort of like cancel this term, please, and let me just pick out something else, you know, like art or English or something. He said, but your grades are so good. I said, I know. That's the one time I knew. Jim, I'm telling you, one time I knew. if I turn that down, there's something else is going to come, something that's going to tell me. I don't know what it was going to be. I had no idea.
You were how old?
I went to an art school after that.
How old were you?
I was 19, yeah, 20, about 20. And then I went in the Army, and I had to come back, and I had nothing. So I went back, got my degree, but I still was like, no. I was talking to my friends at that time. We said, God, I could have been him. You know what I mean? Similar situation, similar backgrounds, and I remember that. What was it? He did a concert. When we were the early time in Taxi, he did a concert. We all went where he does Elvis Presley, and all of a sudden he has these people, you know, like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. I thought, that's not the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. There's a bunch of phony people in purple robes singing. And then he said the Rockettes, and these are like older women, not looking very much like dancers, but there they were, and they're trying, and he's supposed to be, try to believe it, please believe it. It is. You know, it's almost like saying, if you can prove me wrong, you know, I'll pay you $10,000. No, they're not. So then later on, of course, at the end, he said, here's what he meant to the Swedish guy. He said, at the end, I want you all to go outside, and we're going to go and have milk and cookies. And he had 15 buses comes around the clock. It was raining that night. 15 buses takes us to the spaghetti factory, and we only had a little a container of milk and some cookies. He's a nice guy. He missed him, of course. No, we all do miss him. We do miss him a lot. And we talk all the time. Jim and Mary Lou Henner, who's here tonight. She sets the whole thing up. It's okay. And everybody in Taxi gets together once a month. You know. Yeah. Regardless, you know, you have to. Yeah. It's always. I mean, it's like what is it? It's like an uncut umbilical cord, right? We'll have one stuck there somewhere in this old Taxi. Jeez, that must have been good. Are you going to start to stay to see Ordinary People? I've seen it a long time. Don't tell anybody what I said about Robert Redford. I got a picture. We had a 20-year anniversary of the show. I think it was about 20. We're all we're standing in an apartment in Brooklyn, and there's Timothy Hutton and Mary Tyler Moore and what's his name, Donald Sutherland and Redford and me and everybody in the room, and I'm thinking. I asked Sutherland, I said, how old are you? And he tells me his birth date. And I looked around and I went, I'm the oldest fucking guy in this room. I couldn't believe it. I was only 40, for Christ's sake. Yeah. That's good. That's good. You're going to see it. Yeah.
You've got one of the great careers in American acting. You've done the part you wanted to. You've always done great.
And you started me. What can I say? I could actually say, in truth, that I don't know who would be sitting here tonight if it wasn't for you. I mean, it could have been another guy. You could have been the guy that when you had 103 temperature, got the part instead of me. Thank you, everybody.